Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Fitzgerald from the STEM Connection with today's STEM Quick Win. And we have another STEM professional joining us today for an interview. And we have with us Jermaine Barnes, who is a Senior Database Administrator for essentially the state of Indiana. Hi Jermaine, welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, we're doing well. So we'll just kind of jump into it here. So we know you're a Senior Database Administrator, but can you tell us kind of what that means or what you do?
Sure. So Senior Database Administrator basically is managing the more or less databases on the servers. When you go into like an online application, you see all this data on the screen. That data comes from somewhere. It's a database, and my job is to basically make sure that database is available, back it up, keep it secure, keep it efficient. So when people are searching on those websites, it's quick and not slow. So those pretty much are my basic job functions.
Great. So what does a day look like for you? How do you spend a day? I know in the current situation, it might look a little different than what it might when we're not working from home a lot, like many of us are doing. But can you share with us just kind of what a day is like?
Sure. So typically I get in the morning and, I log in to my workstation, and the first thing I typically do is I just see if there's any alerts. People don't realize it or not, but a lot of these online systems, even your public government systems, a lot of stuff happens during the night because those systems have to be available during the day so constituents, customers can use them. So, sometimes those processes that run at night run into errors, and my job is to go in there and make sure that we correct those errors so those processes run correctly the following night. And also just make sure sometimes something may happen during the night and something goes down or just isn't functioning the way it should. So, we always just check alerts to make sure that things are up and running. And then from there, we'll just talk to customers. Typically my day is kind of, I don't want to say boring, but because it's a database and the information needs to be available, we can't really do anything during the day. So I'll have a lot of meetings with my customers, talking about future projects, issues that they're having, ways to optimize the system, or new ideas, trying to think outside the box as far as how can they utilize the database to make it a more pleasant experience for their end users or customers. And then what that will typically translate into is a change. And by change means just an actual alteration to the system. And those are typically scheduled at night or over the weekend. So I'll basically will spend the rest of the week planning that change because they only give me 2 hours to get it done. So, it has to be
scheduling and communicating.
Yep.
And
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's pretty boring during the week, but there's a reason for that, and that's just to plan accordingly. So when they do allow me to do the change, I get it done in the window that they allow me to get it done in.
For sure. So what's your favorite part of your job? What do you like most about it?
I'm a problem solver. I think if you ask any database administrator, what makes it fun or why they do it, if they really enjoy it, is they're problem solvers, and there's always something going on in the database where you have to solve a problem. So I just, I love solving problems. It's, I don't know if it's just a little quirk of mine or what it is, but if there's a problem, I'm always the first one to jump on it and fix it. So I think that's the most fun part about it, is just, whenever there's a big issue going on with the system and, everybody's in a meeting trying to figure out what it is, I just dive right into it and get it resolved. So
I like problem solving as well. When you were a kid, did you like to do puzzles and that kind of stuff? Because
Oh gosh. Oh man. Rubik's cubes, puzzles, Sudoku, crossword. I mean, just anything. Even with games. I'm an avid video gamer, and I love to do role player games where you just by yourself trying to navigate the whole landscape of the game and get rewards. So that in itself is like problem solving to me. How to defeat these little characters. Yeah.
Figuring it out and doing better than others, like all that. Like I definitely probably some kids out there that have some of those same kinds of interests, and so this could be something that might lend itself to theirs.
Absolutely.
Can you share with us a little bit about your STEM journey? So you said as a kid you liked kind of those puzzles and those games and all that kind of thing. So how did that kind of help lead you on your path? Like when did you kind of know that this is what you might want to do, or how did you get to where you are?
It's I won't say it's the most straightforward, but I'll have to say what really got my interest is when I was watching Star Trek with my father.
Okay.
And I saw Captain Kirk, use his communicator and talk to the Enterprise. And I thought, like, man, that is so cool. And what it did for me was it just, basically opened my mind to science. My discipline is computer technology.
Okay.
But my first love was physics, astrophysics, and engineering. So, I always gravitated towards science. So, as a kid, I had always wanted to try to go look at the stars. Whenever I had a chance to go to a planetarium or something like that, I would just always ask a whole bunch of questions, things like that. And, it's just something that gravitated to me, science and math, because it's problem solving. And so, with that, doing the games and what have you as a kid, I think that helped me when I got in the classroom because it just gave me this determination to figure out the answer to the problem. So I took a lot of science courses, a lot of math courses, and they just, kept my interest. And, I just always wanted to do that. Now I wasn't able to finish that degree program at Purdue, the physics program, but what it did introduce me to was computer technology, because a lot of people don't realize computers have a lot of physics in them. So with that, I had took a couple computer classes, and I said, well, it's not all the way physics, but it's technology. It has some physics in it. So I said, okay, I can probably do this. And sure enough, I had to wait a year or two to get into the program, but as soon as I got in, I mean, I got it just like that. It was just came second nature to me. And, it was a pretty good, pay coming out of college. And I said, yeah, I can make a career out of this. So and here I am today. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so kind of along with that, in Indiana, we have our employability skills standards, kind of those general skills that we like to help try to develop in youth from early on so that they're ready for college or the workforce or a trade or whatever that might look like for them. So I shared those with you. You've seen those previously. So which one or two of those is really important to be successful at your job?
I would say just the, doing your math, and trying to get an internship as soon as you can. That's probably, one of the most important things. Just focus on those science, those critical thinking skills. Another skill would be, just public speaking. You're finding yourself in a lot of meetings, and being able to communicate or convey what the technology does to your customer is critical, because they're coming to you for an answer. You know, the whole purpose of technology is to make business easier.
Hmm.
So, you know, if you know what the technology does and what your end user or customers are trying to accomplish, then, you know, you can sell, I won't say sell that, but, you know, you can address their problem with technology. So, you know, just having good communication skills, um, you know, never being afraid to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
You know, technology is always adapting. You're always learning. You know,
Yeah.
that's one of another things I love about my field of study is always something new,
Yeah.
always something new. So just doing that, and like I said, whenever you can get an internship or an opportunity to learn that skill,
Mhm.
take it, because it means a lot to an employer to hire somebody in a technical field that actually has some experience.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's that's great advice. I love it. With the, that combination of the critical thinking skills and the communication, and also having somewhat of that initiative to kind of go out and kind of pursue those opportunities to get better and to learn more. Um, those are all, I think, great pieces of advice. So your job is very technical, but what sorts of tools and technology do you use most often, or do you really enjoy using that you get to use for your job that you could share with us?
Um, you know, I mean, it's geeky stuff, but the application that I use in my job is the vendor is Oracle.
Okay.
So they offer a lot of online courses. So, you know, I'll use you know, those free little courses where they talk about new developments that they're doing with the product. So I'll do that from time to time. Um, I also just like to go to conferences. You know,
Hmm.
there's a lot of tech conferences around the nation that happen, and you know they'll advertise new products, new technologies, things like that. So that's always fun. Conferences are always fun. You network. Um, you know,
Yeah, I
you
guess
learn new
you kind of
things.
see all the new, the new inventions and devices and new gadgets and all the fun stuff that's coming out. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So I would probably say those are the two that I use the most is just
Yeah.
the conferences or expos, and you know, free like webinars or training sessions that are offered from the vendors.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Awesome. So my last question, and this is something that I've asked kind of all of our professionals that have joined us for interviews, since many of our families are at home, kind of home based right now. Do you have any suggestions or ideas for activities for things that kids or families could try that kind of connect to what you do?
Yeah, yeah. You know what I found out, um, I guess that kind of triggered my brain was, like I said, um, the puzzles per se. I think that is a great tool and a great way to spend time with your family. You know, I use it with my kids.
Yeah.
We'll build puzzles together, or something else that really I enjoy doing with them is Legos.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you get to use your hands, you look at a set of instructions,
Hmm.
and you build something. So I would suggest that, you know, just get like a 1,000-piece Lego set, something that they really like to build, and just sit down there with them and just, you know, build it with them. Something else I did was I got them a little robotic kit. So, you know, we talked about gears and switches and power supplies and all that, and built a robot. So it's, you know, it's little things like that that are fun,
Hmm.
but you know, it has a STEM meaning behind it, you know,
Yeah.
and it gives them exposure to it. So those kind of activities I think are pretty good to do around the house at this time.
Yeah, I think that's great. And those are things that you can find pretty easily places, puzzles or Legos or Sudoku or how, all the different kinds of things that kind of get your brain working kind of in that problem solving
Hmm.
mentality. So I like those ideas. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So that's all that we really have for today. So thank you so much, Jermaine, for joining us and sharing with us a little bit more about what you do and some ideas to help kids kind of keep practicing some of their technical skills. So unless you have anything else to say, I think that's it. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope. I just appreciate the opportunity, and I hope you all enjoyed it and it was worth your while.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.